Hey everyone, it is me, Jeremy, the one, the only guy named Jeremy that is with IvyFi, and I'm joined in the lounge here again, as usual, by my friend and co-founder John. How's it going, John?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. More asking you, how are you doing with the new arrival and everything going on? How are you doing, my friend?
I'm tired, man. I'm really
You,
tired,
you look
but
you look electric, by the way. You look gorgeous as always. Don't you worry about it.
thank you.
Don't you worry about
Thank you. You know, um, Phil keeps the positive vibes going for me. He encourages me every
it.
day.
We
He's
text.
like, "This is the greatest time in your life." I'm like,
It
I
is.
believe it. I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Not for sleep when you start though.
No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
But
savage.
You
no,
look
yeah,
back and you're like, oh, it was such an amazing time, but not right now.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
no, it's been good. Like, I mean, my kid's amazing. For those that don't know, my wife just had a baby. What's today? Sunday will be 2 weeks. He'll be 2 weeks, so he's 10 days old, something like that. So, it's super exciting, little baby boy, super healthy. He's all into everything, and he has a really strong neck. Like, and they come, they're not like usually you got to support them. We
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
support him, but like he like came out like whipping his head around like it's like wow, you got some muscle back there, little guy. So that's very cool. So yeah, I've just been trying to keep him getting healthier, gaining weight, um, and that's about all that I've been up to. What have you guys been up to, Phil? You
That's a
training?
lot. Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's a lot already. Like especially a newborn, man. There's so much that you need to be doing. Like the learning curve, and there's no books for that.
No.
Yeah, yeah, training for sure. Work and training. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Oftentimes I do like VO2 max oriented stuff. I feel like muscle mass is okay. I want to shred a little bit, like body fat percentage around 15, 14.9 right now. So mostly it's VO2 max, like cardio stuff that I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And John, you told me the other day you're working on something more cardio related. Is that correct?
Yeah, so like changing more to like calisthenics. I think I blame Brendan for this, right? Because he's been calisthenics in my head, and I've done it for like a long time, not like professionally or anything. Think just general fun. And then you know, as you train, I think everyone agrees with that. Like when you're training, you have to deal with injuries, right? And sometimes you just think, if I didn't ever train, I'd never get any injuries, right? Because I don't know how people get injuries without doing it, because it's pushing yourself. And popped my disc a few times, fun times. So getting back into running and 5K, we've got a little IvyFi thing. We're probably going to invite you into it, Phil. Where I think it's the 26th of September, around then, where we're all going to train for a 5K and then run a 5K like this week. And then it's not so much your time, it's your progression. So we're going to do percentage progressing from now until then. Do you know what I mean? And we're just going to see how well we do. It's something quite simple, quite easy. But yeah, so trying to get back into that, because like coming back from injury is just tough.
What's your pace?
But
What's your pace and time for a 5K right now?
well, it's quite so. So the best, my normal time would be around about 2021. My best is 17:31, but right now, because I haven't run properly since like last November, was like
17:31. When did you do that? How
yeah,
long?
16 years ago.
Disgusting. Oh.
Yeah. Like long time ago, long time. And I was a lot lighter as well. I was like I'm 84 keys now. I was 69 kilos when I did that. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think it's an age thing, isn't it? Like I ain't getting ever to that, but yeah. So at the moment, I'm like 26, 27, but I lost like 3 minutes in 8 days. So I just started running again, right?
Yeah.
And I know that's not going to carry on. I'm definitely going to hit my wall very soon. And then once I hit the wall, then I'll do some proper training. But I'm hoping by the end of the year to get down to about 22. If I can do that, I'll be really impressed if I can. But I think you should over aim and then just keep grizzing, right?
Yeah. What's your weight?
84
kilos. Okay.
Yeah, 84 kilos.
Can you convert that into pounds? I don't.
Yeah.
84, 2.2, 174 or something, 17 something.
Okay.
6.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
You got quite a challenge ahead, Jay.
I'm gonna go out and run tonight. I think after we get done and see where I'm at.
This guy already gets around like 20 minutes, 21 minutes.
No,
Really?
that's an exaggeration. But like I was telling him, if I go out tonight, it might rain. It's like, but if I go out tonight and I run and I can probably end up for 5K in between somewhere in the 23 to 24 minute.
You guys
range,
are
right?
Savages. What's going on here?
Huh?
You guys are crazy. What's going on here? Wow.
I've just been running. You know, I used to play a lot of video games, like a lot of like mobile video games, not real video games, like Clash of Clans. I used to play Clash of Clans competitively, and I was like really into it. Like I would spend hours planning attacks and stuff, and like it was too much. So when I quit doing that, I was like, I need something to like do. You know, if I'm not going to be spending all this time planning these attacks, doing all this, I need something to like be productive to get better. So I was like, I'm going to run because I need to get in better shape. That was like 10 or 11 years ago. And I've been running ever since. Now I've just got to work more on the like weight side, because as you're getting older, you need to do less cardio, which is why I'm fine with this challenge, because I usually run out like more like 5 to 7 miles. Like I'm more in the, like I'll do that distance, but 3 miles, it's not as much wear and tear. That's pretty short. So I can just train for like more VO2 max type thing and work on that, which is supposedly one of the best things for you anyway, is the VO2 max. Like that's one of the biggest health indicators. So anyway, I'm working on that. And then I've been trying to, my goal this year was to get to 10 pull-ups. Because at the beginning of the year, I could do 1 barely.
Yeah.
So I'm up to 4. So I've got, so by the end of the year, I could do a solid 10. Brendan will be proud of me, and then I'll be okay, you know?
Yeah. He look at you like, not bad.
So that's what I'm doing. So yeah. So when does this challenge end, John? Like when are we trying to get to that, whatever our best is by?
I think it's just, one of the final tests. I think we're going to run it for quite a long time, because then I want to add more stuff into it. I want to build it up to like a group Murph sort of thing. But I think around, I need a calendar, and obviously I clicked my calendar and it just died on there. September 26, 27. I think it was around that weekend. So it's quite, we got it's a bit of time.
So can we just say the end of September? Isn't that it? What is this September?
Yeah, but you know what? He's not here. He's not going to appear on. Mark's not here, so he's not going to appear on screen for those who do watch the show. Sometimes he comes in. You know, we can't get into a PR. But it was, you know what he's like. I'm like, sometimes the same. Sometimes September, October. He's like, no, I need a date so I can plan my training. I'm like, okay, last Sunday in September.
So,
so that's what it was.
Speaking of Mark, real quick, and then we can move on to like actual stuff. Like, but
yeah.
So the other day we have this thing where if we do something spontaneous, we just call it a raw dog. Like we did that, we raw dogged it. We did what we had to do. We jumped in, and so sometimes John will just call me on the phone, and if he doesn't get me, he'll just type a message that says raw dog, like, you know, like I just went for it. So the other day I texted Mark about something, and he was like, because the whole point of this thing is that you can't plan it. It's all spontaneous in the moment. So Mark texted me. I was like, hey, can you chat? And then he was like, raw dog in the group chat, ? I was like, bro, you can't do that. That's like against the whole spirit.
He's the only guy to send like a Google Meet for a spontaneous event. And I was just like, what are you doing? And it's not only just like in your middle of work, and I always answer, like, it don't matter what you're doing, you just answer it. So it's like a funny thing between us also. Like I'll be eating like tea, so eating dinner for those who don't know. I know it's not a cup of tea.
For everyone that's not in central England, it's just dinner. He's like, I'm having tea.
And he's like, I'm eating tea, and Jeremy laughs every time. And I'm like, can't change it. So I'm eating tea, actual food. And then Jeremy will ring me. I'm like, you raw dog me. He's like, raw dog, I'm like, mate, it's tea time. You can't ring me at tea time, man. He does it a lot as well. Yeah.
I'm a jerk. Okay. What can I say? I'm a jerk. But anyway, so enough with that. So if you are watching the stream, if you would please like and repost it so that more people can see that we're going. So Phil, what's new with you guys at Hashpack? Like what you guys got going on? Anything exciting? Anything to share? Anything upcoming?
Still very much in the vibes, man, of like the Recon. Like, the event was really a clear signal that it was just fun, because it was layered in a way that, you know, it didn't feel it was enterprise ready. You know, it felt like it was enterprise ready, retail ready, compliance ready, just fun ready. So it's just very much on that. We launched also 2.5 months back, also cross-chain swaps, which has been absolutely awesome for us. Self-custody through and through, the whole thing, just wallet to wallet, really talking to each other. Oftentimes like Solana to HBAR, oftentimes also XRP, lots of swaps also on there. Multi-language support also for us has been absolutely awesome, because we want to be reaching folks, you know, that don't speak English, and we often think of the product as is English centric, but it's not. There's so many.
You get like metrics on that, like how many?
Yeah, we
like,
do.
Like, so, like, what's your breakdown of different languages that use the wallet?
Yeah, mostly that's Tyler's, that's Pluto's realm. But mostly for sure, like Vietnamese has been really a hit. I believe also we got Greek coming in. We got the Hausa language also for Nigeria, also that we love to explore, because lots of folks in Nigeria and Africa also are speaking that language. So yeah, it's been really great for us, because you want to keep on being an access point where, you know, you're available for a majority of folks. And again, this needs to go past the language barrier. This doesn't make any sense, you know. Language is just language, you know. So it's just like, once you unlock that, you know, it's just fun, because now it's French, now it's Italian, now it's Polish, now it's Portuguese, it's Spanish. It doesn't matter, you know. The experience cannot have a breakpoint where language is the barrier. It doesn't make any sense. You need to tackle that into a vertical where it's just a product, you know. It's just this. So it's been great for us. Other than that, anything that's security stuff, Tyler and Nick has been crushing it, because AI components, because Fable out today. So it's much more like housekeeping stuff, especially right now. It's a phase in the market situation where folks are a bit more dormant, which is perfect to be doing housekeeping. So most stuff is like on the back end side of things. And yeah.
What are you seeing as far, are there a lot of new projects popping up here and there, or is it kind of like, because, you know, the market sentiment is obviously down, but like, what are you seeing as far as, is it deterring people, or are you still seeing like growth? Because I imagine you guys are your whole model is like getting as many people involved and bringing them together as possible. That's your whole thing. So I'm sure that you kind of look at that. So what are you seeing?
It's never been growing this much. I say this on all the shows that I'm on everywhere, like for TradFi, for DeFi that are converging right now. We can see it absolutely from Lendiplex to Orbit to Source of Swap going live, I believe tomorrow, to collectibles, to platforms, to lending, to vaults, to Bonzo, to Centex. It's just like, it's accelerating absolutely everywhere, to AI with Hashgraph Online. It's everywhere right now. It's just the fact that since the market sentiment is trailing that thing down, you have the feeling that, it's so stale because price action, because euphoria is not here, or because emotions or timeline or X is being boring because XYZ. But there's never been a better time to be crafting absolutely everything. So what we're seeing is that we're seeing resilience. We're seeing resilience in a way that the markets is running right now. Folks who are absolutely crushing it, albeit the fact that the spotlight is not really here. So that's pretty good, because every single bits and pieces of crushing and actionable stuff that you do is tenfold as to what this is in 10 months when attention rotates back and the markets are on fire, but attention is here. So everyone's here. It's not everyone here and then whatever it is you do. So there's a lot of rewards for you as an entrepreneur to be crushing it over there right now, to be doing stuff right now. Because spotlights, because you want to develop a great product, because you want to be launching a spaces, and it's good because there's more available slots, because, well, there's less folks. So at the same time, you know, it's up to you to be gathering this mind share of attention right now.
Yeah, well, this is the time to be building. You can't jump in when, the wave has come. Like, that's, you know, like you've got to be here putting in the work now in order to see the fruit later on, because you can't move at that speed. Once things take off, you have to already kind of, it's like someone surfing, trying to run in the big wave comes, they try to run in the ocean and catch it. It's too late. You had to be in there waiting for that thing. So no, that's good. That's good. So you're still consistently seeing people building and growing and more of that. And you guys do a lot in not only the retail space, but you guys kind of connect with the different enterprises too, don't you?
We need to. We need to. May's really specific around that. She crushes it, especially around the speech that she gave over at Ericon. I mean, we need to be enterprise facing, company faces, and also retail facing. So if you do that, you really become an access point where, again, you just abstract everything and you just offer a great product. So how can you offer this great product with great solutions? Well, you just offer solutions that just works and that can scale at the same time. Same thing for AI, same thing for collectibles, same thing for adapt section, same thing for asset management expertise, same thing for swapping, same thing for staking, same thing for the whole thing. So once you truly unlock that, it becomes easier to just stream as to what's the solution that you need that can be scaled as to, okay, you have 10 customers, you have 1,000, but you also can potentially have 100,000. Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. All right, let's talk about you, my friend. I mean, I when I was at Hedera-Con, got to see you for the second time in my life in person.
That was really fun.
That was the only picture I took of all Hedera-Con.
It was crazy.
I don't have a picture. Like, I need a picture, and it needs to be with Phil. So anyway, but I was saying I think the Hashback team was around you. I was like Phil is the only person I've ever met that literally gets paid to be like the dude that he is. Like, he has all these skills, but your job is being you, and you do it so well. Like, you're just such a great expression, such a great encourager. You really love the tech. You're into what you're doing. You also care about the people. You get excited about the tech. So I thought it'd be kind of cool just to kind of talk about a little bit about your journey coming to where you are now, so tell me, you were a chef. That was your profession by trade, correct?
Yeah. For 23 years.
How did you get into that? Has that always been something you were passionate about, or
no? I was living with my mother, single raised, and then she just said, "Go grab a job." I was 17, and now it sounds like a story, but it is. But that's what this was, back in the days, and I just ended up having 3 resumes over 3 spots in the restaurant. Just hired me after that, and then it just came along the way of true resilience, and I never stopped. But it was insane. It was absolutely insane for 23 years. It was insanity.
So did you start as a line cook or something, or were you
at the dish pit? I started up at the dish pit for a whole year. Yeah. Being thrown at dishes and whatnot. I started that in a restaurant called La Cage au Sport, which is really sports centric, nothing fancy at all. 17, just doing the dishes with the machine, whatever, with utensils being thrown at you, shift until midnight, whatever, getting paid literally $7 an hour. It was crazy, the crazy stuff, but good basics. Very good basics to have once you're 17, man. Because after that, you can layer that up, and once you gain experience, you never forget the days at the dish pit, man. You never forget that.
That was actually, it's funny that you say that, because I grew up in North Carolina. You can start working in the States at 14. So I got a job. I went as a busboy at 14 at this little tea room, not like your kind of tea, John, like Southern tea, like sweet tea, like iced tea, not any of this, fruit, whatever, scones and stuff. No. Anyway, chicken salad and sweet tea. But anyway, I worked there for a couple months, and then the dishwasher got a hernia, and they didn't have a dishwasher, so they threw me in the pit.
Yeah,
bro, that is some serious heat and just nasty. And so much respect. I can understand. I mean, I don't know how long you did that. I only did it for 3 months. Then thankfully I got back out on the floor, which is a better position to be in.
You got
as
tips.
far as I got into waiting and kind of did front of the house stuff for a few years, but it definitely builds some character.
Oh yeah. It does, man. It does. But that's every single day, that helps me in here, from spots that I work to French cuisine to doing my class also, because I did it without a diploma for 10 years. And at the very intersection, I was 28 maybe. So right at the between phase of my 2 careers, in between I decided to do my class. That was 2 years. That changed my whole trajectory and really helped afterwards. After that, it was a stage in France, North Normandy for 3 months. After that, I came back working once of Montreal's biggest restaurant out there. I started Garde Manger, then became chef from there for 2 years. Did the Bocuse d'Or also, which is one of the world's biggest competition ever, like culinary speaking. We opened a restaurant in Palm Beach Island. Yeah, the whole stuff. So it was really good because, again, stress management, team management, leading a team.
Yeah.
2 people, 14 people, opening. Also, like, it's the same thing as when you have a project launch. It's the same thing, like the before feeling that you have, interaction in between people, also gauging out people, also reading the room, reading your colleagues. It's like having that band of brother, like, okay, and sisters, just like, you just go. Let's just do and craft something that's beautiful. Whether it's a new plate that you're putting out, a new recipe, you have to think about the food costs. You have to think about who's going to be doing the recipe, who you're going to be tackling, like the next task and whatnot. So it's really, that serves me every single day in here. It's the same thing and the same approach. I used to connect with food, and now it's with people, and the tech just becomes secondary. Food, the plate that we were cooking, that's secondary too. It's just a means to connect.
That's very cool. So now that you don't do that for a profession, like, do you cook more? I mean, obviously you probably cook less, but like what's your relationship with food? Has it changed at all? Like what do you see differently from when you were actually in the business?
I'm very much more passive, I would say, because like the bump of things really, like if I go to a restaurant, I'm really going to be passive, because like the bump of things, like it goes to, once you're a professional, especially this goes with age, especially for us males, like once you go as tough, you want to prove something out, you want to, that's your chest, and the curve, it goes like this. So you're like, okay, you want to prove things out. And the peak is like, okay, once you go to a restaurant, you're like, oh yeah, I would have done this thing that way, and that doesn't work. But what's the point of this? The point is, you're just going to have fun with the friends that you're in, the girlfriend that you have right now, with different, that's the goal, is to have a great experience. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, let's just have a fun time. Even though the meal I'm having, the pizza, we're having the fry, we're having in a restaurant, whatever, is not 10 on 10 all the time. I'm just like, we're having a great time. This is a great experience. We're just going to talk. It's just going to be like a smooth one. We had a great conversation. Yes, I'm going to taste the sauce. I would have added a little bit of pickle juice on there, maybe to change it, or the texture sucks, but I don't care. I don't care. In the mouth, it's going to taste good. It's going to be fun. We're going to share a great experience, great evening, and we're just going to carry on. So I would say that's where the mindset, I would say, is towards food. But at home, I barely cook. Also, I go straight to what I need oftentimes, unless I really need something, like I want to cook bread, or I want to have a stock, or aside from lunches for my daughter too. So yeah.
I saw you were
Phil,
putting sourdough. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead,
Phil, when you just mentioned then that you were like, I think that's it, and it is like in a 20. It feels like you're talking like 20 years thing, right? When you're in your 20s and everything's like better. Everything's about the output, isn't it? And I think as you get older, you sit there and you think, actually, it's about, you've sort of peaked at your output, and you realize that you're going to hit a ceiling. So eventually it's got to be about more, right? When that transition, then what you were saying is, it seems like you're more interested in, the event than the actual, food itself, even from your home life. Did that do a natural transition of you getting like a job like with Hashpack now and working with people? Did you find like more like the people and the event was something that you think, hey, this is what I want to be about, and not so much, the goal of creating something there? Was the human element that drove you to it? Was that subtle change with your age, do you reckon? Or
for sure, the human perspective to me was everything. Like working, and that's why if I rotate back to your point, Jeremy, when you put up the introduction, and great compliment, by the way, thanks. It's just that I couldn't have that throughput of energy and being this genuine if that wasn't true to who I was. So it's really great because I can just be, and that's what I do at the same time. But we meet face to face, and it's going to be the same thing. But to me, like, the human perspective is absolutely everything, because that's how I connect. That's how I genuinely connect. To me, the tech is really fun. Yeah, talk to me about TPS. Talk to me about, yes, really good because percentage, it's super fast, or new recipe that you found and it's really great, and this new trend because it's a cronut, or this new trend because, I don't know, it's a vegan thing, or you're doing sourdough and you have this precise technique. But what's underlying to that is not the recipe. It's not because it's vegan. It's not because it's a cronut. It's not because it's a trend. It's not because it's the new product. It's how can you connect it all to people that you genuinely care about and you want to have a great experience that you can share with folks you care. That's what this is. And to me, there has been this from the jump, because it started with collectibles and then hopping on with Centex and then hopping on with mints and drops and then hopping up with connecting with folks. I was like, wow, this is so fascinating. And at the same time, it's thrilling because there's folks who are really better than me at this stuff. But at the same time, we all exchange stuff. We exchange recipes. We exchange knowledge, but all on this. That becomes the underlying, that's this, but you don't need to be talking about it. You just, hey, wow, we're having fun because we're on a podcast. We're having fun because we're in a stream. We're having fun because we talk about anything but the tech, and that's what connects us. But at the same time, no, because it's just humans. So that's what's so fun. And the same thing with Hashbag is the same thing. We're a small team, but damn, I mean, the team, we're just like in calls, let's just do it. Let's just bring this up together and just going to be really fun. And it's the same thing for you guys, I'm sure, like within IvyFi. So yeah, the human perspective of things and how we can all connect while being within the tech, while not necessarily talking about it. Like this balance of thing really is what's attractive to me.
It's I think it's like, it's a shared like passion, with tech or with food or like whatever. But then, so you all have that thing in common, but then that just enhances the bond between people, kind of, that type of thing. It's not, a lot of times it's not even the core thing. You listen to these spaces, and half the time the spaces in the Hedera community, they rarely talk. They don't even talk about Hedera for 75% of the actual space. It's just, hey, I heard you were going to go to Taco Bell, last week and have the crunch wrap. How was that? Like what? And so, because people start to form these kind of, these communities. So I totally get that. So I did want to ask you though, how did you initially get interested in Web3 to begin with? Like what piqued your interest and like what time frame was that?
It was on TikTok. It was during the pandemic, probably 2020, something like that. And I gravitate around like where attention resides oftentimes. Like you're going to see it. You're going to perceive that. You're going to see it, right? Even though if it's on the timeline, even though it's on likes in a room like full of crowded people, in an event or whatever, like eyeing where attention resides, like that's really enticing to me. That's what got me into that. I didn't understand the tech, a huge part of it that I still don't, and that doesn't matter. Like what mattered to me was how can I connect with folks with the new things, new means, new stuff to be bringing all of us together. So yeah, content. I felt like, wow, this is crypto, this is Web3, like old terms we used before, and it was like, wow, that's so fun because yes, it's money, yes, it's gains, but at the same time, it's growth. It's new ways. It's new means to be connecting. And yeah, that was really, really fun.
Was there anyone in particular that like you came across that like grabbed you, or do you just see like, because that was like during like, I guess maybe like the lockdown time when everybody was jumping on and like making all this content? Like was it any one particular person?
Crypto Mason, for sure. I say it all the time. Like he was routinely doing content like on the daily. And he's grown so much. He has a business now. He run a book and whatever. And back in the days, he was doing like routinely daily content, like research and education. I was like, wow, and they're so deep. And I felt compelled because I knew nothing or very much, not a lot about it. So I was like, wow, let's dive in and just have some fun in it. So yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so from that, obviously, if you were listening to Mason, he's big into HBAR, Quant, XRP, like those, so that is how you, I assume, found out about HBAR. But obviously he was into and is still into like all the, what they call ISO crypto. Yeah. He was into all that. So what specifically like got you interested in HBAR over other chains?
It starts at the top all the time. And I could mention like the infamous Lehman YouTube video that everyone saw, but everyone saw because, we're still like 5,000 of us and in 20 years, it's going to be iconic. But now it's just, oh yeah, that video. But that changed everything for so many folks. that changed everything. It was like, wow, that's there's a lot of energy and attention in there, and the way that he speaks out of passion, and again to this day, I was like, this is it. And to me, like, this way again, I'm being redundant, but that's what this is. Like, the way to be talking about the tech and being relatable to me will be the forever cheat code. That for sure, if you're talking to an ecosystem perspective, like especially want to be pushing products, you're going to win instantly. I didn't know this back then, but now we can talk about invisible ubiquity or hiding the wires or all those stuff. But if you just talk about the products, how awesome this is, you're having insane, cool experiences, and you can share those experiences, you won. You won, no matter what you do, no matter product, no matter the lane, no matter the ecosystem, you win instantly. And that's what drove me, because once I was going like over Discord servers or whatever, it was kind humans. It was just kind people. And I was in an age, when I switched and I transitioned like to my career, I was 37. So I had zero time to waste, So I was like, I want to do this. And who knows where that leads with mints and drops, with me like pouring 30, 35 hours like in Discord chats, X, trying to do whatever, spaces, whatever. I have no time to waste. So what's the ins and what's the out for me? What's the throughput and what's the results? I want to connect with folks. Then the tech comes. Then the products comes. And instantly it clicked. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. So how did that wind you up connecting with the Hashback team? Like, obviously Hedera was kind of a small space at the time. Did you already know them? Like, how did that work
Mints
out?
and Drops. I used to have a show like you guys, inviting folks, Mints and Drops, 100 episode deep that I was doing on YouTube. I was just inviting folks. I wanted to talk because I wanted to have more range. I wanted to be like more into like the weeds as to what's happening inside the ecosystem. I was just inviting friends. So I was making friends. I was like, yeah, let's just hop on there. And to me, I was genuinely curious. I was doing it for me. I was like, that's so cool. I'm discovering. But at the same time, I discovered 40 episodes deep that folks were really caring about that. I was like, wow, that's awesome. So friends became colleagues eventually. May came on the show, man, like early on, like episode 35 or something like that. She was awesome. We just connected on there. I connected with Pluto, with Jacob. Yeah. And 100 episode deep for sure. Like I got 2 or 3 friends that came in like 3-4 times, but for sure like 72 entrepreneurs that came in who are still here. So I became friends afterwards. So yeah.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah.
That's so organic. The way, again, how everything has kind of worked. And so how did the transition out go? I guess that's probably
it took time. Like, it really took time. Yeah.
Was there a point in time where you were working with Hashback and your regular job, or
no? Yeah. The full transition, like a year and a half ago, like came in like one shot because I was ready. I was ready since a while, since right after the pandemic, I would say, right after I had my restaurant for 2 years during the pandemic. I was just taking jobs just to have jobs, just to pay rent. The rest of the time was going ham in here. I was no matter what I do, I want to put tools into this toolbox that I have, the skill set that I have, know a maximum of folks, maximum of trends, maximum of ecosystems. I made friends around XRP2, around Solana, also around ETH a bit. So I was like, let's just dive in and have the most time in here, and let's see what happens. So 2022, that was the year of HBAR. 2023 was the year of ordinals, Bitcoin. It was almost like forbidden, like to go over Bitcoin because you were like a trader or whatever. Like back in the day, I was like, but no, that's fine. But that's a different era. 2024 was the year of like memes and whatever. And last year is the full transition. But I was just having jobs because I could work absolutely anywhere. So with my resume, I was like, yo, listen, I want to work 4 days a week. Leave me alone. Daytime, because I have a daughter. I have no time to waste like doing day shift, like night shift. I did that for 20 years. Leave me alone. I just want to pay my rent, and the rest Batman style. And I work during the night in here and see what happens.
Well, you're very much in restaurants. If you're good and you know what you're doing, whether it's front of the house or back of the house, you're very much kind of like a freelancer. Like you can go and do something wherever if you have that skill set. So
Yeah,
I'm sure that worked out well. So that's
yeah,
cool, man. I appreciate you connecting all the dots.
yeah.
Again, it's the human aspect that
Oh yeah.
we find the most interesting in the whole thing. So thanks for sharing all that. So I want to get into a couple of kind of general topics. At HederaCon, the big news was kind of the Clipper with technology coming out and all that. And so John's quite good at breaking down complex things because he reads white papers by the bedside. Like, this is what the man does. Like, that's his passion. So he can take the boring and make it like more relatable to the rest of us. So John, I wanted you to kind of give your take on Clipper and what you think. How big
just
of a
no pressure now, Jeremy. No pressure now.
Huh?
No pressure now. No pressure, right? Just
Well, I've let you kind of chill most of the show, so now you've been saving it up for right here.
Yeah. Well. To be honest, I do that because I think it's more of a job thing as well. I sit in a lot of things with quite heavy technical standards, and I think there's a lot of. I mean, you probably feel this in the space, Phil. You probably get it all the time. There's a lot of buzzwords. There's a lot of random words, and not all of them really sit down with meaning for people that are just normal words. And remember, all these buzzwords, meanings, acronyms, and everything else are just normal words in normally, more complicated sentences or means that don't necessarily need to be. And I think with a lot of things that I like to do, I like to read and think, well, I hate it when it's just, I can read a tech stack and tech thing. I'm like, but what is it trying to do? Was it trying to achieve at a simple level? And if the tech stack can't describe that, then normally, it's not a very good one. Because they should have a very clear outgo. All this, what's it actually trying to do? It's trying to move this from here to here. Perfect, for example. So, and apply that to everything. And the same thing with Clip-On. I'm not going to insult anyone's thing, but you guys aware of Clip-On, what it's trying to do, or anything else before we move on, or do you want me to just raw dog straight into it, Jeremy? Our favorite thing.
Well, I mean, I think we're aware, but I think for those that don't know, basically is going to be able to move tokens from different networks like XRP. I believe Solana's on there, some other ones, over to Hedera, without wrapping, basically is what it's going to do. But how it's going to do that, you're going to tell us.
Yeah, so how everything works, right? Everything works on like protocols, and to not throw another word in there that people go, oh, well, it is. So we use the internet today, for example. You go in your browser, you type in Google. It does a secure connection between you and the Google site, right? That's called HTTPS. It's a protocol. We all use it to talk to each other. So my phone can talk to see that website, and every other website can talk to each other using that, right? Very simple protocol. So we all know what it is, yeah? What Clipper is, it's a cross-ledger protocol. What it's trying to do is, and there's another buzzword coming now, and I don't like them, and Jeremy will know, like, they wind me up. But if you've heard some terms like infinite liquidity or pooled liquidity or network liquidity or network of networks, right? These are all words that fly around. That what Clipper can do is it can now, normally, if I want to move, say, HBAR, a token from one network onto ETH, and it's not native, what I have to do is I normally have to lock HBAR into a bridge. And people just do, I lock it, and then I get an ETH version of that token, right? And everyone just does it. But I'm the guy who asks why. Now, you do that why? Because on that network, they've got their own ledger, they've got their own information, and when you move across, say, Ethereum or something, that network needs to know that when you move that token, is it true? Is it correct? So what you do is when you lock your tokens in a bridge, it's like an IOU. I put my 100 tokens here, I get 100 tokens of this network that I can go and spend it on. The problem is with that is you're putting trust into the bridge. And we know we've had in the past, some bridges have been exploited. There's areas of that IOU trust barrier can break down. So what Clipper does is it does this by doing it through a cryptographic proof state. What that means to people is I can talk to that network. And because we're both on this protocol, I can say, hey, is this HBAR worth this much on Hedera when I move it across and use it on Ethereum now? And the protocol will look and go, yes, it's worth that much. And if you use it on this, I'll let that networker using it, and this network will know. So it's that now that trust is done through cryptographic information and not a third-party application where it can be hacked and then broken down. And because it's done through crypto, then you have to break the encryption to get around that, and it's going to be really, really, really obviously network level secure, right? So that's now, and people just think, what will people see it really happening? No, they won't actually see. And this is the great thing about this: what these weird technologies that come out that change everything that you never see, like HTTPS, that no one ever bothers about. You just type in Google. Is it'll just be sat there, and what we'll have in the end state, I like to think, and I've not seen this. Remember, we've not implemented it yet. But what I like to think is every network can adopt this protocol and standard, and then with old networks can trust each other that token is that token across each network cryptographically. Now it's not quite a trustless layer, but it's as close as you get, because that cryptographic layer is now verifying it, not a company who's made that bridge, who looks after that bridge, who's wrote a smart contract for that bridge, who says, I'm going to offer my token to do that. And that is massive on a level of pretty much trust, because as you know, everything from wallets, Hashpack, we use these things because we trust it, right? I put my tokens in Hashpack wallet, of course I do. We do it for testnet as well, and all these things because it works well. It's got a high level of security, and we trust it. Now we can do that across networks of networks. With how we're worrying about that, like what happened with I can't remember the project. You remember the project with the bridge? It was not long ago. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull out the name of it, and it got hacked, and they pretty much told that. I forgot the network, but pretty much what happened was when people locked their tokens in the bridge to work on another network, they hacked the bridge to say that had been completed. So when somebody said, "Can I have 100?" it went, "Yep, the 100's there, thank you." But it never told the network the 100 were done. So everyone was just pulling out hundreds completely. And my example with that was like going to an ATM and asking for $100, and it goes, "Yep," you click it, and the $100 comes out. And then it goes, "What's your balance? $100." And you keep clicking. And that's what happened. And people were just, the exploit then just printed. There's hundreds of millions lost, like printed. That wouldn't happen, because it's not going to go, "I trust this false bit of information." It's going to go to the network level and go, "Does this exist? Is this real? Prove it. Prove it on a network level, even if it's a completely different other network." Which is really, really interesting. It'll help like everything from Hashback when you're trying to move, tokens around and prove that and everything else. It'll help us for IvyFi when we're doing staking. I think it's going to be bigger than people realize, because you won't have to develop and use a certain type of bridge. You can use this protocol and move tokens around, and networks of networks. It's a massive step for me in a layer, and obviously built up and working on Hashback, which is amazing. Hope that helps some answers. And again, was got any questions?
I mean, that was pretty simple. That's what I was hoping you would do, is simplify it, because I think there's a lot of mystery as to what it's like actually doing. And a lot of people use a lot of buzzwords in the space, because, and not me included, I try not to use buzzwords. I just don't talk on something if I don't know what I'm talking about. But like a lot of people, they say things, they throw words like liquidity around, like, liquidity and microeconomies. And they say like all these things that, what does that actually mean? Whereas basically you've said we're taking the trust out of the bridge and putting it on the network level.
Yeah. And then also I think one of the best things if this succeeded on every network, I think the best comment that I heard about it is that each user wouldn't know what chain they're on anymore. Each blockchain would become an invisible infrastructure. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone would just use whatever wallet and service they use and transact against every network without even realizing that they're doing it, which I think's a step where people aren't quite even thought of yet, but they want to be there, but we're definitely not there, which is, I think, an amazing step.
Agreed. Anything to add to that, Phil, or?
I think it falls right into the intersection of things, as I call it, oftentimes, where you want to abstract absolutely everything and focus on the experience and the product. If you abstract also the ecosystem and you just focus on the product, you win even more. They're just because the very best indicator as to can you reach the next 100,000 users, in my opinion, is when I give this example like a lot. You have this dinner table, family oriented, and you want to be talking about what is it that you do, what's your job, what's the product that you have, what do you have. If you can keep on maintaining that string of things with Aunt Janine, with Uncle Pete that's selling cars, with your cousin of 22 years young, and you can maintain that string of things oftentimes going to be without mentioning crypto, Web3, Bitcoin, and this whole thing, and you keep on maintaining that string, you won. It means that the verbiage that you have is great, the approach, rollouts, call it whatever, wordings that you have is good enough for the folks out there to be understanding what you have, meaning that you're going to have very much less friction for velocity of things. And after that, how you're going to be rolling out stuff for sure. So to me, Clipper is exactly this. And I think, John, you put it adequately, like on the dot, because that's what this is. You're abstracting like ecosystem literally, but what's left? Products, experiences, sharing those experiences, and it just moves seamlessly.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're getting on towards an hour here, so I got a couple more questions for you, and then we'll hit you with part 2 of. I've shortened it to 5 questions instead of 7. I did 7 questions with you before.
Damn.
But I've shortened it to 5, and they're all new questions that you haven't had before. So we're gonna get into it. But I want to ask, do you guys think, is the Fourier cycle dead, or do we know, or like what is going on in the market? Like,
John, you want to go first?
Yeah, well, to be honest, if you asked me maybe 18, not even 18, maybe 12 months ago, I'd be like, well, we're going to be getting into it, right? But I think everyone can ask that about the economy as a whole. I think it's more greater than what blockchains currently and, crypto as a whole, whichever word you want to use for it. But I don't think it's dead in an instance, but I definitely think we're going through an anomaly, and it's very hard for people to know what's going on. And the issue that I find with people hard of what's going on is what's going to happen with the market. When's it gonna, we used to be able to like not time it by your watch, but the last 2 cycles was very much that, wasn't it? You can know, like, we got a 3 or 4 years of digging in now, guys, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I think this is why this market is quite difficult at the moment, because we're getting out of that timeline and it's hitting an unknown, and people just feel quite uncomfortable with that because, people obviously leverage themselves, some people to make money, to build applications, anything ultimately does work around them cycles. I think for our project and us, it's been great to build in this area. So then, you have something when that hits. But right now, for the average user who just wants to be there and feel that euphoric, like, you can't beat the feeling in a bull because it's so euphoric. It's short-lived, but it's euphoric and it's great. And when people are planning on that and it's not happening, it's difficult. And right now, if anyone else can tell me when it's happening, please let me know, because, there's even like everyone else is just like, I don't know. It's every time it's next year at the moment. And I think if we hit next year, so I'm just going to keep going next year. And next year, and then it's the hopium until we like never, but it will happen. I'm struggling to work out when that is, and I don't know if anyone else is feeling that bit alienated with that at the moment.
Well, I also think the last cycle felt so different because, like, I guess, the last year and, where Bitcoin got up, what did it get up to? Like 120 something, like low 120 something. So it was like significantly higher than 70,000 or 69,000, whatever the top was for the last cycle. But there's so many tokens now. There's so many other, like, if you go back to like, 2021, 2022, it's like there was like, someone would launch a project and they were like, you can move this token around. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember that if you listed on Bitrue, you're just 10x. It was genuinely a thing. Like, listing on a CEX was a thing, and then I see like people now going, "Oh, we're listing on a central exchange," and everyone's like, "Yeah." Like, the standard is so much higher, like so much higher, and I think that's hard as well because no one knows what the new standard is, which is another thing as well. Like, you can launch a really good app, you can launch a really good thing. Like, what's the standard to know of success, which used to be, hey, I can, like you said, hey, I could just mint an NFT. That was enough. Hey, I could go on a CEX. But now it's so much more. And I think everyone's much more developed, the deeper in the ecosystem, and we have quality products at a very mature stage. So that idea of, oh my God, you're telling me I can move your token to me? Well, a millionaire.
Mhm.
You know,
I remember like around the time you were talking about, Phil, that you came on, is about the time that I came kind of into crypto, and everything was about TPS. It's like, but this one's fast. But this one is like, this one does it in 2 seconds, but this one does it in 3 seconds. You know, like this is instant. It's like, it doesn't really matter. Like, as long as it's not like Bitcoin where it's like 45 minutes, like as long as it's like relatively within like 5-10 seconds, like you're still getting what you, it's still going around the world very quickly. Like, it's the other things that make it like interesting, like the things that Hedera can do that are outside of, outside of blockchain, because it's not a blockchain, that kind of make no front running. Those type of things make it like more special. But that was like the whole thing was just speed. Like, how fast can you get there? It doesn't matter what you can do, just get there fast was the whole narrative, And then people would say, well, yours does it in like 2 seconds, but mine does it in 3 seconds with finality. Like, it's
like a little bit of sauce on the top, wasn't it? With finale, you know what I mean? It was like, but mine does it with just dropping the salt with finale. I was like, that's where my money's going.
Yeah, I asked an impossible question, but I just, do you guys see any kind of catalyst for the rest of the year to see any kind of price movement, or is it just
there's plenty?
Huh?
There's plenty.
What do you think?
There's plenty. Not financial advice to anything I'm going to be saying, but there's plenty. There's never been that much, actually. Like, for compliance, RWAs, AI, compliance, like on all levels. There's never been that many. There's never been that much. But like, the dichotomy right now is that market sentiment is switching completely to the opposite. Like, one news that we've had since 6 months would have brought at least like the market sentiment to super greed, but now it's not moving the needle because folks are expecting what came before, and it doesn't always rhyme because the markets is fragmented. It's not the same as it was before because there's more players, and it's not like the special KOL lunch money guys who can like move $100,000. It's the big entities now that's playing. Of course, there's market manipulation, the whole thing, but still, there's never been like, in terms of news event, in terms of sheer innovation, in terms of compliance, it's never been that high.
Well, Trump said there's a peace deal on the table tomorrow, so that
we could do 2 shows on that if you want.
I think,
said that
yeah. Is this like the same thing of the bull fight next year? Next year. Like, I feel like we're having the same conversation, just on different topics here.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's enough of the market. We don't know what we're. Oh, I did want to ask one more question. How low do you think HBAR gets? What's the lowest you think HBAR can get?
Well, what's the price right now?
It's like 8 cents.
Actually, about 8 cents. To be honest, I don't see it. I don't know. Like, I didn't think we'd even get. Maybe I'm too optimistic, right? I didn't think we'd really hit 8 because I was looking at it earlier. It was like a few days ago, and it's not been this for a while. I'm trying to have a look now of actually how long when it was at 8 cents. It was a while ago, like a long time ago. So, like, for me, I don't think it's going to drop that much. And it's not, what was we at? Not, it stayed 10 for a while. It broke that. We hit down to 9. We're down at 8 now. Optimistically, I'd hope we'd stay above 7.5 and then we'd move. But I don't, the worst thing about me is I'm this side of the pond. I don't always follow. It's more your side of the pond that works out what this market does. Unfortunately, it depends on, I don't know which country you guys are going in next. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know what's going on. So, but right now I'm hoping, and this is all hopium, that we stay above 7, mainly before, like, just for liquidity and everyone else in the market. For those who are opposite ways and no financial advice, then, and maybe not now, but good time. These are the times where people make opportunities, right? And risks. So, it's not all doom and gloom for everyone. There'll be some people that will be lapping up And for those who can, congratulations. I hope it goes really high straight after. But I'm hoping not lower than 7th personally. That's what I believe. But it's based on pure hopes and dreams, not any market information. I'm sure Phil might have a better indication than I do from his smiling.
I don't actually fade the price action. Look at all the businesses being developed right now. Look at all the beautiful companies and entrepreneurs absolutely crushing it inside the ecosystem. That's your best indicator. The best indicator of success is how many quality people are building inside the network and are staying there. Bar none, there is top 3, top 2, top whatever. So that's the clearest indicator, not price action. That's
fair. I don't think it drops below 6 cents. Again, that's based on nothing. But I just don't we were over on, again, not financial advice. Also, guys, when we start the show, there's a disclaimer that says it's not financial advice. So we cover ourselves, even if we don't cover ourselves. But anyway, when we were over on XDC, which is a way smaller network than HBAR, they never, they barely, the lowest at the very bottom of the bear market last time they got was 2 cents. It wouldn't dip below that. So I think you have a network like Hedera with so many big players on board, so many people, enterprise players, that it gets low. I think that they will eat that up. I just don't I saw a prediction. I know that the Cosmic guy he says 5 cents all the time. It's always on the thing. Which that part, I could be wrong. 6 cents is not far from 5 cents, but he said one where it could go to 0.08 cents. I was like, I just can't imagine people not eating that up. I can't imagine that dip not getting bought if it got I can't see it getting below a cent. I don't think it's ever been that low either. So I would find that hard to, I guess anything could happen, but I think if HBAR went that low, Bitcoin's got to be 15 grand or something, something ridiculously low. If HBAR was that low. So that's again, based on nothing. I'm not a trader. I don't know anything, but that's just my own personal, looking at how people act. They would just say, oh, that's a deal. I need to eat this dip up, especially now that HBAR has the vast majority of the token supply out in circulation. When you came on, Phil, they only had 50-60% out there, and the big thing was, it's getting diluted all the time. But now it's 85-90% of the circulation's out there already, I think, at this point. I'm not sure about the exact number. So there's not a lot of dilution to go, really. So anyway, not financial advice. Do your own research. But all right, we're going to get into 5 questions for you, Phil. All right.
Ready.
All right. Let's see. I know you've been really into a certain artist lately. I don't know if anyone knows who that artist is. So I'm going to ask you a question that will allow you to incorporate that artist, but only once. So you're on a desert island. You need 3 discs, but you can only bring 1 from each artist. What are you bringing? What 3 artists and 3 discs are you bringing? Not obviously discs is us old people talk. Nobody brings that, but
Wow.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna be sat this. Somebody's gonna be sat here what's a disc?
Yeah. Isn't that fascinating though? That disc, for
album, whatever,
Yeah, for sure. For sure, Drake. That. That's the almighty.
But which one? You have to pick one.
Okay, well, this one. After that, probably Kind of Blues by Miles Davis. That's been my all-time
nice
classic.
Wow. Queens of the Stone Age.
Wow, you're all over the place. I love that
song for the Deaf. Yeah,
okay.
The album in 2000, where it's all red with a big Q. It's just iconic. Dave Grohl on the drum is just iconic. No skips on that album. It's just straight fire.
Wow. Great answer. I love this. All right. If they made a movie about your life, who do you want to play you? Me.
Wow. I feel like it's cliche because he's popular. Keanu Reeves is just fine.
Yes.
Great.
The Golden Book, bro.
Because he's awesome.
I want to see Keanu Reeves for 50% of the movie washing pots. Because even Keanu will find, like you learn a new way to do a pistol reload. He'll find a new way to wash a pot, and you'll be stood there going, "Why didn't I do that all them years?"
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Because he takes everything to the extreme. Like, it'll be the absolute John Dish instead of John Wick. Do you know what I mean? It'll be amazing.
Yeah, he's just awesome, man. And I don't feel like he's like in Hollywood. Like, he just doesn't care about that.
Well, he just
He's so humble, humble. It is such a nice.
Yeah.
Well, even like his wife is like a normal looking lady, like she's nice looking, but like I think they just got married in the past couple weeks.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
they've been together for 7 years. Or something.
Yeah.
No, anyway, my wife did get. I showed you at Hadiricon. They have those golden books.
Okay.
And they made a golden book for Keanu Reeves, and she put it on our baby registry, and someone bought it for us. So I'm like, we're gonna teach our kid right.
Yeah.
The story of Keanu Reeves. He's got to be a little older though, because there's some a lot of tragedy in Keanu Reeves' life that has made him stronger. So all right. I always put more than 5 questions, so I have to pick the best one. All right. So this is for me. I'm gonna ask both of you this question. I'm a new father. You're both fathers. What one piece of advice would you give me? And I'm going to go to John first, so Phil has a chance to think.
Okay.
Because that's not fair that I dropped that on him right there. So
enjoy the difficult moments, because they'll become the ones that you miss and cherish as they get older. 100%. As soon as all the sleepless nights, when you're trying to go shopping and they decide to lay on the floor and scream for 3 hours, right? And everyone's looking at you. And I'll tell you what now, going back to them moments sometimes when your kids get older, like a one that's nearly a teen, and even though you love every phase that they're in, there's something about it that I think you forget quite a lot because it goes so fast. And you take it for granted because you're tired and it's difficult, but it is the best time you can ever have. And I just say, remember that when it's difficult, look at it and going, I'm not saying it's the best it's ever going to be, but definitely sit there and go, this, just take that moment in, take as more pictures than you could manage, write down your memories, because my missus is even like that now. And my little boy is 15 months. She's like, I can't remember him clearly as a month-old baby. Even though the pictures are there, she's like, I struggle with it. Because we even work the pictures, you can't get enough of it. So what I'm saying is absorb it, enjoy it.
Thank you, sir.
You're gonna get at one point, you're gonna get moments where oftentimes joyful moments you will want to cry, and that's gonna come at one point. I don't know if it's already here.
Well, Phil, I cry at a flat tire, so I won't have a problem with that.
Right. So and through those moments, oftentimes folks would say time goes fast or time goes, but it's not to say it goes fast like your kid goes from 1 to 5 and boom. It's just phases that you will want that last longer. So as John says, even those because those moments, it's super cliche, but it's so true, they don't come back. So whatever this is, go through it. That's nothing beats that. It's just because oftentimes, if not, it passes by and oh damn, but it's already here. So whatever this is, if you're changing a diaper and it's 2:37 a.m. and it sucks because whatever, you had a crazy day, waking up, all of those things, or when he grows up and he answers back at you is with attitude, you're instead of, yo son, what's going on? Oh wow, you're never going to have that interaction again.
Yeah.
And I think there's only 2 times in your life, when you have these little kids and you sit there and you go, oh, remember when they did this? And you sound like you're like an old age pensioner, like you're retired, because that's the only other time you're going to sound like that. Because when you said, remember when he or she did this, it was only like 2 weeks ago, but they've changed so much, and you've just gone, I remember when they did that, and you sit there as if it was 25 years ago, and it'll feel like it's 25 years ago, but it's not, and you're like, oh, it was last month. I know, but there's so much has changed. So
thank you guys. That was a little deeper than I was even expecting, but it was wonderful.
Oh.
And Phil's been, shout out to Phil. He's been like, we've been texting about this kid coming for months. Like he's been my biggest cheerleader over here over this thing. So it's really exciting. And he's a wonderful kid. He's perfect. So, all right. 2 more questions for you. All right. What's a TV show or movie that you think is slept on?
Slept on?
That you think that more people should appreciate that they don't?
It's my favorite movie of all time, The Matrix, I would say. Everything's on there. Everything. It sucks again because it's popular, and yes, it's Keanu, but everything is on there.
I love it. I don't like part 4 was kind of rough.
Yeah, just the first one.
Because I didn't mind that they made her awesome. I just minded that they made Keanu a little bit weak. Yeah. Like, bro, don't take away from Neo. If you want to make Trinity like awesome, that's fine. But like, don't.
The other one's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like, oh.
You can't go wrong with The Matrix. That's
for sure. First one. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And then last one, we'll come back to crypto. Hedera. You can't say IvyFi and you can't say Hashback. Give me 3 projects that you're bullish on in the ecosystem.
Damn. Okay, lend me around. I mean,
that's why? Like, you don't want to get on there and be like, oh, I'm bullish on. Like, those are throwaways. You can't do that. So you can't talk about people that are in the call.
Orbit, because they're just awesome. The team's just awesome. We talk and it just clicks instantly. Helix, because again, it just clicks instantly. And one that slept on is Vicisi, because he's a great friend. Because it's just he just rocks, man. Vicente is a producer in LA music, crafting culture. Big shout out to him. Cliche again because they're constantly hitting first, but DPGC, Will, Raf, and Ray, they're just fucking awesome. They're great folks, great humans, and it shows. It showcases again, like the collectibles is an access to that culture. It's just fun, great vibes. Sebastian over the collectibles is going to be launching. I'm going to stop there.
I did want to ask you, are there any plans for anything new with Helix right now, like coming up soon? Right now,
I think they do have an event coming up, or at least like the team's going to be attending New York NFT NYC. I'm not sure it's going to be Helix per se, but Lewis and I believe Alex are going there. I believe,
Oh, wonderful!
Yes,
awesome. Maybe we'll try to get him back on and chat about it some more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was 5 questions. Excellent work, man. You slayed them all as you always do. So anyway, how can people get up with you? Get involved with Hashback if they're living under a rock? Tell us about that.
X remains our main, for socials and whatever. Discord is also super fun. We're also on Reddit, also on LinkedIn, also on Facebook. Everything's over hashback.app. Every single piece is over links. Discord, we're super active on there too for GMs, for apps, for announcements, for links, for the whole thing. Me also, I have Phil, F-I-L-H-E-T-U, also over X is also super fun. Keep updated, download the Hashback, grab a theme, and it's your access point for absolutely everything on Hedera. It just makes sense. Just have fun, give us some feedback, slay, develop a product, connect with us.
That's awesome. Couldn't say it better myself. If you want to stake, go to ivyfi.io. There's still some room in the HBAR pool. You can get up to 24% simple annual rate on it. Pretty good. Better than native staking right now. You can jump in our Discord if you want to chat with us, find out more about the project. Follow us on X. This streams every week except for last week because my wife had a baby. But every
any
week
excuse.
I was weak. But anyway, But we'll be back next week with somebody else, or maybe just John and I chatting. Like that could be fun too, you know. But John didn't seem to like that. We'll try to get a guest anyway. But we'll be follow us on X, so you'll see when it goes live. And until next time, you know, for John, Jeremy, Phil, we're out.
Super
Thank
fun.
you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you
being
for
here,
the
Phil.
invitation. Hell yeah, anytime, man. Thank you.